I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at my website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is a question. And the question is, half full or half empty? And that could pertain to activities in your life this week, because once again, we are all under the influence of a sort of a stacked deck. And by that I mean that all 10 planets are only in one half of your chart. And the other half of your chart is completely empty. So with 10 planets in consecutive signs from Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer, you could be really involved with the things that those signs rule. And then there are no planets at all in Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, or Capricorn. And so that sort of leaves you a lot of room to move. You could change things in your life, and it might be because you're very busy in one area or in multiple areas, and then another part of your life is just really calm, really quiet, nothing going on there, and that could leave you room to grow. And so there are a lot of planets indicating that you may be in the mood for a change. After all, we just had a solar eclipse in Taurus last week. And so there are a lot of planets that are very harmonious now and can sort of offer you new opportunities or new ways to grow. And the first thing that you would be lucky with is that there are 4 planets that are all trining each other in the healing water signs. And so today, Saturn and Neptune, the ruler of the sign, are both in Pisces, and they are trining the moon today in Cancer, which it rules, and Mars in Cancer as well. And those 4 planets are all trining the sign of Scorpio. And so the healing water signs are emphasized in a very favorable way for 2 reasons. One is that you could have a lot of energy. That would be Mars in Cancer. Mars is a very energetic planet. And you could have a lot of determination. That's Saturn in Pisces. And they're both trining each other. 2 malefic planets that can usually get you in trouble are actually working together right now. And so they are strong and can motivate you perhaps to make a dream come true now. One that you had had in mind for a long time. And the reason why you could do that is because Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and it's in the sign, so it's very strong, and it's trining the moon today, which is the ruler of Cancer. And so we have 2 rulers trining each other, and we have 2 very strong, energetic, determined planets also trining each other, and all 4 are trining the sign of Scorpio, which rules funding. And so you could really have an opportunity now to make a dream come true. Or there is the possibility, since Cancer rules real estate, residential real estate, you could be contemplating a move or remodeling your home or even buying a new home or selling one. And all of that would be very satisfying. It would tend to work out right now because these 4 planets are so strong in the water signs, and they really favored you trying to, at last, make a dream come true. I mean, what's wrong with trying? You could do that. The reason why this would be a good time for that, an additional reason, is because these 4 planets are trining the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio rules financing. And so you may be able to get some money to make a dream come true. Wouldn't that be nice? So you could give that a try. At which point your life would begin to fill up quite a bit, and that would be nice for you. And then in the earth signs, there are 3 very strong planets, and they're all in one earth sign, Taurus, where we had the solar eclipse last week. And that is because the sun is in Taurus, and it is joining Mercury, the planet of communication and the mind, and Uranus, the planet of sudden surprising change, which are both conjuncting each other in Taurus. And so the sign of Taurus itself is very strong. And it's the other fixed financial sign. Scorpio's one and Taurus is the other. But Taurus is known for hard work and for being a good provider. And Taurus has expensive tastes. That's because Venus is the ruler of the sign. So there is the possibility now, with such an emphasis in Taurus, that you could be thinking of changing jobs or getting a higher paying job. Or you could be thinking of starting your own business or improving your health in some way that could allow you to work even harder. Wouldn't that be great? So the sign of Taurus is extremely well favored. And so are all the earth signs, because it trines Virgo and it trines Capricorn. So that strengthens those signs too. But within that sign, there is the conjunction of Mercury and Uranus. And Uranus rules not only sudden surprising change, but it rules things that are ahead of their time. And since Mercury is a planet of communication, there is the possibility that someone could contact you about some startup. Uranus rules startups because it rules things ahead of their time. And perhaps if you're thinking of changing jobs or thinking of opening a business or getting a new job, you may get an offer from somebody to be involved in a startup that could be eventually very profitable. And so there's that opportunity. And you could certainly hear about that now because Mercury is conjuncting that Uranus, which is great. Then among the air signs, there is sort of a magical, wonderful trine going on. And it is between Venus in Gemini, which rules two of everything, and Gemini rules easy transitional change. And remember, this is a time when we can make changes because half of our chart is really crowded with planets, but the other half is empty. We have room to make changes. Nothing going on that side. And so with Venus in Gemini, which rules change, particularly easy transitional change, moving from one neighborhood to another, fine. Or starting a temporary or a part-time job, or adding another temporary or part-time job to your already busy work schedule. You could do that. Venus is there. You could do that easily. And then Venus in Gemini is trining Pluto in Aquarius. And Aquarius rules the future. And it does rule things ahead of their time. And so these two planets, which are very favorably trining each other, are also trining the sign of Libra. And Venus rules Libra, so it's in real good aspect to its own sign that it rules. And so there is the possibility that someone could come along, or possibly it would be you, that actually I think it's somebody who's sort of higher up. Pluto rules people in positions of power, or Pluto rules deep psychological transformation and change and the deep truth about something. And sooner or later, that's something we'll all have to face, particularly about our future right now, since Pluto is in the sign of the future, Aquarius. But because Venus and Pluto are trining Libra, there is the possibility that someone can come along who's sort of in upper management or in a powerful position, and they may offer to form a partnership with you. And it could be just on a part-time or temporary basis. It may not be one of these forever partnerships, but it could lead to it. So there is the possibility that somebody who is interested in your talent or in your good ideas could offer you some sort of partnership position, and that could lead to even better things in the future. And that's quite possible right now for anybody. So the point is that, the answer to the question, is your life half full or half empty? The answer is both. In other words, you can be really busy doing things, but in the part of your chart that has all those planets. But in the part that's really quiet right now, that leaves you time and motivation to grow and to do new things and to make new efforts and to meet new people. You know, you got a lot of room there to do that. And so this is a time when it's your choice. You know, if you want to fill up your life with more things, you can do it. If you want to get out in the public eye, this is a wonderful time to do that, because the public is ruled by Gemini and Venus is there. That would be good for everybody. So I hope you plan on socializing or making contact with people, even if you're doing just casual things. It could broaden your world, and you could make new friends. You could hear about things that are of interest to you that you may want to pursue. So I hope you give that a try right now. Even though the planets are all stacked up in half of your chart, leaving the other half empty, I would say that just gives you a lot of room for future potential. And, you know, you have choices that you can make right now, and easy transitional changes that you can make if you want to. And you may as well give it a try. You have nothing to lose, so I wish you luck. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, Jupiter is still in your sign, and it is surrounded by a lot of other planets right now. Saturn and Neptune in Pisces are right behind your sign, Aries. There is the possibility that a dream that you have had for a long time has the possibility of coming true. And I would say that it is a delayed dream. It's something that didn't work out before for one reason or another, or there was some reason for the delay. But now you could be pretty darn sure of that dream, and you've had time to think about it, and this may be a great time for you to go ahead and make some changes and sort of go for it and try to make a dream come true. Because with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces trining two more planets that are in Cancer right now, Mars and the Moon, you know, you can understand your own emotions better, because water signs rule our emotions. And that means if your heart is telling you to do something, Aries, you should do it. And that's because Jupiter is in your sign. I mean, you can be full of optimism. Well, why don't you spread that optimism around and sort of get out among people and try to broaden your horizons right now, Aries. It will do you a world of good, particularly if there is a way for you to make an old dream come true, which I think the aspects for that are absolutely excellent. If you needed some extra money to do that, you may even be able to get the financing to do that, because the 4 planets in the water signs are all trining the sign of Scorpio as well, which rules financing. So this could be a really good time for you to consider making a new start. I mean, it has been the whole time Jupiter's been in your sign. But remember, Jupiter is leaving. It is going into Taurus next month. And so it's not going to be in your sign too much longer. So you really should take advantage of the timing and go for making a dream come true, Aries. You could do it. So give that a try. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Taurus. This is a time, Taurus, when you can be determined to sort of be everywhere at once, because you're a good hard worker. And this is a time when you can be deciding, okay, I know I can work hard, but I have a lot of things to do. How am I going to get them all done? Well, Taurus, you'll figure out a way. I know you will. And the reason why is that you may be in the mood or you may be motivated now to change jobs and maybe seek a higher paying job, or a job that allows you more time to do other things. You may have the idea for a business, a new business that you want to start. Well, you'd need to make time for that, wouldn't you? And so I think you can do it. the sun is in your sign, but so is Mercury, the planet of the mind and of communication. And it's conjuncting Uranus, which rules startups. And so if you were thinking, Taurus, of starting something that you've had as an idea that you really think can work, and you're totally dedicated to, putting in a lot of hard effort yourself, then I think this is the timing is great for you. Go ahead and do it. Because you could meet other people that are interested in joining you, and then eventually you get enough of those people around, that makes your workload a little easier. But also, a Taurus is good at setting a good example. And they do it by doing the work. A Taurus is a little quiet. When they're enjoying doing something, they're not talking about it, they're doing it. And so you may just want to get something started right now and sort of try it out in different ways to find what feels good for you. And when you find that out, then you are ready to roll, Taurus. And I would do that if I were you. There was just a solar eclipse in your sign last week, and solar eclipses always denote new beginnings. So I would just say, go for it, Taurus. And if it is something that is brand new and is sort of a startup, well, this is a great time to do that. And that's because Uranus rules the future, and it's going to be in your sign for another 2 years. It doesn't leave until 2025. And Pluto is squaring it, but that simply means that you've got to put together the work model. You've got to prove it works first, and then you're going to have something to show investors. And at that stage, you probably will get investors. There are always people that are interested in others who are good hard workers and have new ideas. And I think that this is a perfect time for you to explore your possibilities, Taurus. I wish you the best of luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, lucky you, Gemini, right out of the blue, surprisingly, there could be an offer from someone sort of higher up or in upper management or a powerful friend of yours who may offer you a position that represents a partnership. And it could be temporary or it could be part-time, something that works out well with your schedule and your other activities, but it could be eventually very lucrative. And the reason why is that, first of all, you must have the talent, or somebody higher up wouldn't be interested, or they already know your work record, or something like that. In other words, you have the proof that you're the right person for the job. And so you could get an offer from somebody, even 2 of them. And I'd take both of them, Gemini, because you could schedule your time to do a little of this and a little of that, all within a regular work week. If you just said, well, I can do this 2 days a week to one person, and then you could say, I could do this 3 days a week to somebody else, and you could do it, Gemini. Geminis are very versatile and adaptable, and they enjoy doing 2 things, and they're very good at that, too. And so you wouldn't let anybody down, Gemini, and you may get an offer, or you may at least hear of a great new idea that represents some sort of a partnership, because Venus in your sign is trining the sign of partnership, Libra. And Pluto in Aquarius is trining Venus in your sign as well, and that would represent somebody a little higher up that knows of your talent or is very interested in your talent, and may make you a great offer, which you should say yes to, Gemini. I mean, part of a job is just liking who you work with. And that just makes the job a lot easier. Even if it's a hard job, it makes it easier if you're with people that, are very compatible or that like each other. So this would be just great, Gemini. I hope you keep your ears open, or I hope you get out in the public a little bit more right now while Venus is in your sign and you can sort of be at your best. Why not show that off a little bit right now? That could do you a world of good. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time, since yours is a water sign and your ruler, the moon, is in your sign, and Mars is too. And so both of those planets in your sign are trining Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune is the ruler of that sign. Well, Mars is a malefic planet, and it certainly is an energetic one. And Saturn is a malefic planet, and it is a planet of very serious intent and demanding that you do things over until you get them right. But it's also a planet of respect and of reward. And these two planets are trining each other. And then the moon in your sign, which is your own ruler, is trining Neptune in Pisces, the ruler of Pisces. And these are two very illuminating planets and inspirational planets and intuitive planets. It's a little hard to see what the moon and Neptune are doing when they're working together, because Neptune rules things like the mists and the fogs, and it rules dawn and dusk. It rules the transition between light and dark. And so, and the moon, it represents reflected light. You know, the light of what's going on around you. And it helps people intuitively know how to make their dreams come true when these two planets are working so well together. And also it can help ease situations that involve a move or a family matter, something like that. That can be settling down. But also it's just an absolutely excellent time for you to get in there with that Martian energy and try to make a dream come true. And it may have been a dream that you've had for a long time that may have been delayed for one reason or another, but now is the time to really be working on it productively. And if you need some financing to make that happen, you could get it, Cancer, because these 4 planets are trining the sign of Scorpio, which rules financing. And Mars is one of Scorpio's rulers, and it's in your sign. So, you know, I think the money could come your way. You might have to sort of reach out for it, but it would be around, Cancer. And you just need to investigate things. But it's got to be something that's a real dream of yours, something that you've always wanted, or someone that you've always been dreaming about. Just go for the truth that's in your heart, Cancer. And you could do pretty well right now. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Oh, Leo. Jupiter is still trining your sun. I think you've been sort of on a high road, Leo, for a while, because Jupiter has been trining your sun rather beautifully. And so that could have given you a lot of optimism, and you could be feeling as if you're sort of lucky, and your sign does rule luck. It also rules gambling. And so, Leo, this is an absolutely wonderful time for you to make a new start. And so there isn't anything in your sign right now. And there isn't anything in the other fire sign, Sagittarius. But, oh, that Jupiter in Aries is trining both your sign and Sagittarius. That means you could take a long-distance trip, and that could work out really well. Or you might want to go back to school. That could work out fine, too, as long as it was a new effort of yours. And then also there is the possibility that you can just start something new. It wouldn't have to be forever. Now, Venus in Gemini is sextiling your sun, and that can lead to part-time or temporary efforts. So you can get, even if you have a job already, Leo, you can get a temporary or part-time job as well. And that could work out really well. Your sign rules children. You might love working around children, which would be great because school's going to be out pretty soon. And so you might be planning some summer activities, which would be fine. But this is just a time when you can sort of broaden your horizons, Leo. And you already, I think, have enjoyed some new beginning. You would have had to have enjoyed it by now because Jupiter's been trining your sun for a while. But still there is the possibility of expansion in your life. And maybe it's been expanding, your life has been expanding around you. but maybe you haven't changed any activities yet. But I would get on it, Leo, and do it while Jupiter is still trining your sun, because it's going to move on next month. It'll be in Taurus, and then it'll be squaring your sun. And so this is just an opportune time for you to sort of go into motion on your own behalf and start a new business, or go on vacation, or just do something that represents some sort of startup for you. You don't have to finish it right now, Leo, but it's pretty important that you get something underway while Jupiter is trining your sun, because it would work out pretty well. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Virgo. This is a time, Virgo, when you can be contemplating working really hard. There aren't any planets in your sun sign, but there's 3 planets in Taurus, and they're all trining your sun sign, and one of them is your ruler, Virgo. So the sun today in Taurus is trining your sun, and so is Mercury, and Uranus is trining your sun as well. Mercury, your own ruler, is conjuncting Uranus, and Uranus rules startups, and it rules sudden surprising change, and it is in a financial sign, and your sign rules accounting. So you could be very careful of knowing where every penny is in your life, Virgo. That would just be natural for you, because you're good at that, and I don't think you can sleep at night unless you know where all the money is. So because your sign is a very responsible sign, and it likes to be of service to others, there is the possibility that you may decide to take on a little more work right now. Now, it could be in the form of a startup. It could be that somebody asks you to help them with their startup. I would do that if I were you. It could be a small idea and a small startup, but it's in a financial sign. It would have the potential to be very rewarding financially in the future. Particularly if you get in there and do some work, Virgo, because you're very dependable. Virgos are very reliable, and they tend to finish things. There's a lot of people that are good at getting something off the ground, but they're not able to go the distance. And Virgo always is. Virgo finishes things, and sees that things are wrapped up. And so that reliability of yours, Virgo, is a real talent. And actually, money can't buy that. It's either something that a person has or they don't have, but you've got it. And so I would listen. If you can, you may not want to risk your whole financial fortune on some sort of a startup, but it wouldn't hurt you to spend a little extra time of your own listening to and being a little bit more involved in a startup that sounds pretty interesting, because there could be some good money in that for you down the road. Those 3 planets in Taurus all trine your sun. So I hope you give that an idea, Virgo. And Virgos like to have everything perfect. Well, I don't think something has to be perfect right now. How could it be? There's all the planets on only 1/2 of everybody's chart, and then the other half is completely empty. We all have room to move, okay? We have room to change. We have room to grow. And so you can do that too, Virgo. And if you have a little extra time that you could spend on something that sounds pretty promising, I would do that if I were you. You have nothing to lose. And you're good for the long haul. So just get in there and see what happens. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time, Libra, when you could be maybe shocked, or at least very surprised, that somebody in a powerful position, or somebody who is in upper management, or somebody who's been around for a long time, and even if they were retired, they would have a lot of experience on something. In other words, they really know what they're talking about. And they could make an offer of a partnership to you, Libra. And the reason why is that your ruler, Venus, is in Gemini, which rules part-time efforts, and it is trining your sun, which is wonderful for you because it makes you very popular and it brings nice people to you, which is great. And they're easy to get along with as well. But the person that is in a powerful position or perhaps retired from one, but knows what they're talking about, can offer some sort of partnership situation to you. And it may not be forever, it may just be part-time. It might be some project that you're just working on temporarily. But it could have the effect of getting something off the ground or getting something developed further. And you have a very peace-loving nature, Libra. You're very easy to get along with. And, as people gain experience, they don't want to continually be challenged and fighting other people. The experience of their own efforts should speak for itself. And so generally, as time goes on, you look for people that you like or that you want to get along with. And those that are easy or compatible, those are the people that, they don't have any rough edges. Well, you don't either, Libra. And so those are the people you should be around. The people they just want to get along. And so there could be somebody that actually has a lot of experience, knows what they're doing, is worthy of your time, and they could give you some sort of partnership offer, and I strongly suggest that you take it, Libra. I'm not saying it would last forever, but it might. But the conditions are really good for you. And so you should accept some sort of an offer now. From somebody that's just a nice, likable person, somebody that you respect and admire. So go for it. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Scorpio. Scorpio, this is a time when you benefit greatly from hard work and determination. And so how could you benefit? Well, yours is a financial sign, Scorpio, so you could benefit financially. And the reason why is that there are 4 planets in the other healing water signs, and they are all trining your sun. And 2 of them are the rulers of their signs, and the other 2 are malefic planets that are getting along beautifully, one of which is your ruler. So Saturn in Pisces, along with Neptune, which rules the sign, are both trining your sun. You could be learning about a secret that had been sort of hidden behind the scenes for a long time, or there could be a dream of yours that you had hidden behind the scenes and not told anybody about that has a very good chance of coming true now. So look around or search your heart, Scorpio, and see if you've got a hidden dream there that you've had for a long time, because it could come true. And the reason why is that those 2 planets are beautifully trining your sun right now, but Mars, your own ruler, and the moon in Cancer, and the moon rules Cancer, are also trining your sun. And so you have these 2 very powerful but nebulous, intuitive, inspirational planets, the moon and Neptune, working beautifully together to help you make a dream come true. And then you have 2 energetic, determined planets in Mars and Saturn, and they're helping you get something underway. So Scorpio, I would say that you're in the line for having the ability to make a dream come true. And you could be very doubtful about this. You could say, oh, gee, it's been delayed so long, how could it come true now? Well, one of the reasons is that there's 4 planets trining your sun. And there is a lunar eclipse coming up in your sign next week. And so I think that you are going to be able to make some sort of a move, or change that is much more compatible with a dream you've had for a long time. So I'm not saying look out into the world and right now. Instead, I think you should look inwardly to yourself and just say, what is my fondest dream? Or what dream have I had for so long that it's been delayed forever. Start thinking about that and start working on it, Scorpio. You could be very successful at that. And there's a lunar eclipse coming up in your sign anyway. So some relationship is going to change. And let's just hope it gets better. It'll be something that you haven't told very many people about, if ever. So it must be very deep in your heart. But at last, it could come true if you get to work on it. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time that is when you just got to get going, Sagittarius. And that's because Jupiter is in Aries, and it is still trining your sun, and it is your ruler. But it isn't going to stay that way. It's in late Aries. It's going to go into Taurus in May. And so you don't have too much time left. Your sign rules travel, particularly long-distance travel. So if you were wanting to take a trip, I'd try to get those plans together, Sagittarius, because a new beginning for you is still aspected to work out really well. You just have to sort of get up and get going on it, Sagittarius. And that means if it's a new job opportunity, it means you got to go out and knock on a few doors. Or you've got to make contact somehow with people and let them know what your ideas are. Sagittarius is an intellectual sign. Sagittarians, they think a lot. They think about the world problems because your sign rules international organizations and people from foreign countries. It rules higher education, and it rules the courts. And so if you're concerned about any of those things and you want to be involved in something, well, try to get involved now, Sagittarius. You don't have anything to lose and a lot to gain as long as Jupiter is still trining your sun. And so it can be that you feel you want to get a little extra education or a little bit better training on something. This is an excellent time to do that. You could. Everybody from time to time needs to brush up on their skills, so you could do that. And that would lead to a new beginning for you. Remember, this is a time when people can be thinking about changing jobs or getting a better job or starting their own business. And so there's plenty of opportunity out there for you, Sagittarius. And I think you should take advantage of whatever you're interested in. You ought to go and investigate that now, if you can. And if you are thinking of making a long-distance trip, be sure and make all your arrangements right now, no matter when the trip is, because those arrangements would work out pretty well for you, as long as Jupiter is still trining your sun, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time, Capricorn, when I think in one way or another, your hard work, perhaps over a lifetime of effort, can prove to be rather rewarding for you now. And you could say, well, yes, I've always put money away. I've always worked and put money away for retirement, so I should be okay there. That isn't exactly what I'm talking about, Capricorn. I mean, I believe that, Capricorns are security prone. And so I don't doubt that you have security, Capricorn. But what I meant about a lifetime of effort is that you have a rather systematic, reliable way of doing things. And even if you were taking up something new, you would want to do it in a way where you would sort of start small and accomplish one level, and then finally get to the next level, and then finally get to another level. And you'd want to keep going on that. Well, this could be a time, Capricorn, when your skill level either either concerning something new that you've been interested in, or even something that you've been doing for a lifetime, is probably going to be greatly admired by others. And the reason why is that the sun is in Taurus, and so is Mercury and Uranus. And so those three planets trining your sun, which represent investments and financial matters, simply mean that either somebody who has money or you with extra savings or whatever could make a very good business decision now based on your prior experience, which you have a lot of. And so the Capricorns, I think all the earth signs are like this. They believe what they see. They like to see proof. And they don't believe anything just because it might be somebody's hot air. They really want to see tangible proof. And Capricorn, you have that. You have the proof of your ability. And there can be somebody around who is interested in working with you based on your proven experience that you've already had. And it may involve a partnership. It may involve a startup, because Uranus is trining your sun, and Uranus rules startups. And so you could hear of something that's pretty interesting that you might decide, oh, I think I'll go investigate that a little bit, because I already know how to do some of these things, or I know how to, I could fit in well with them. So Capricorn, you should rely on your past experience as solid proof of your skill level and of what you can do in the future, and not be at all hesitant to respond to somebody who says that, you know, they want to work with you in one way or another. Just do it, Capricorn. You can do it with your eyes shut. Even if it's something new that you've never done before, you have the method down. You have your way of learning. You know that you'll back yourself up. You know, very reliable. So we all have this opportunity with half of our chart empty with no planets in it. We have an opportunity to make new friends or to be more motivated, even for something new. And so we can get out and sort of explore the possibilities now. But you're taking a boatload of experience with you, Capricorn. And in these times when of fluctuating economic conditions, experience is what really matters. And you've got it. So don't worry about anything. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Aquarius. Well, Aquarius, you could be pretty popular right now. And the reason why is that Venus, the love planet, is trining your sun because it's in Gemini now. And you have Pluto in your sign. So Venus is trining Pluto. And since Venus rules Libra, the sign of partnership, and it's trining Libra as well, there is the possibility, Aquarius, that someone could come along with sort of a brand new idea about something that, you know, it's sort of challenging. And Aquarians love to sort of tinker. They love new ideas. Aquarius, your sign rules the future. It rules startups. It rules things ahead of their time. Nobody knows if they're going to work, but they could. And so yours is a very creative air sign, and it's lucky that it's the sign of the inventor, because yours is a fixed sign. And if you actually could meet somebody, or you yourself could be a powerful person with a lot of experience who's looking for partners right now for a temporary or part-time effort that could help enhance your own great ideas. I mean, maybe you need to take on somebody else to do something that you don't quite know how to do, but which could add to your own expansion and your own future. And you just need that extra help. And maybe it's not forever, but maybe you need it now. And you could recognize that. You could say, well, I have this idea, but I need to find somebody that can help me make it happen. And you are aspected to find that person, even two of them, two people, even if they were part-time, both of them. They would be excellent for you right now, Aquarius, because Venus is in Gemini, and Gemini rules two of everything. And they might both be part-time, helping you both of them helping you in different ways. But that might get you to the next level. You know, one person can't do it all. And so, you know, this is a time, particularly since half of our charts are empty, when we have room to expand and we have room to be more motivated in new directions. And so don't be afraid to take on some extra help right now, Aquarius, because I think that's going to do you a world of good, and it will get you further on your own journey. So give it a try. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, you certainly are going to be able to make a dream come true. And it is a delayed dream. It's one you used to have. And you might even have given up on it, Pisces, because, you know, Pisces have a rather gentle nature. And, you know, they don't complain a lot, but they get their feelings hurt pretty easily. And the water signs all rule our emotions anyway. And so Pisces is pretty good at hiding when they're hurt. They sort of cover that up. And right now, Pisces, you might be ready to acknowledge that a dream that you'd had for a long time just hasn't come true yet. But it's about to, Pisces. And the reason why is because there are 4 planets in the water signs right now. Saturn is in your sign, along with your ruler, Neptune, which rules dreams, but Saturn is a planet of delay. And these 2 planets in your sign are being trined by the Moon today and Mars in Cancer. So there is, and all 4 of them trine the sign of Scorpio. So there is perhaps a delayed dream that you have had for a long time. Okay, so you've gotten a little older. Well, you had it when you were younger, Pisces. And that delayed dream does have a chance of coming true now. And the reason why is that, first of all, I think you understand yourself better. So that, you know, it takes a long time for some people to grow up. And by that, I don't mean getting older. But what I mean is, when I say grow up, it's when you realize the truth that's within you. Some people can realize that in their 20s, and some people have to wait till their 60s. It's different for everybody. But it's when you realize what's really in your heart, and what you really care about, and you know, what's important to you. And generally for a Pisces, it's a dream they've had. It's something that they've always wanted to do, or it's someone that they've always wished they were with, or it's somewhere where they always wanted to live, something like that. And so, with the Moon and Mars trining Saturn and Neptune in your sign, it simply means that there is the possibility that a home matter or family matter, which would require a great deal of work. For instance, what if you wanted to remodel your home? Well, that takes work. First of all, you tear things down and then you build them up again. But so you could work on that. That could be part of a dream. And having new people in your home when you're all done with your work, that could be part of a dream too. And having the money to pay for that all, that's even possible, Pisces, because these 4 planets trine the sign of Scorpio, which rules financing. Scorpio rules credit and debt and taxes and loans and inheritance, and it rules grants. So there are going to be different ways that you can make a dream come true now, Pisces. But it looks to me like you can do it. And okay, so it's going to take a lot of work. Well, that's why Mars is trining your sign. Mars is an energetic planet. And it means that you have to stick with it until you really make that dream come true, because that's what Saturn rules. sticking with things. But remember, it's a planet of reward. And if a dream didn't come true for you before, Pisces, maybe it wasn't the right time. But maybe it is now. It's looking like it is now. None of the malefic planets are hurting you. All 3 planets in Taurus, including Uranus, which is the 3rd malefic planet, are sextiling your sun, and Mars and the Moon are trining your sun. You're really in a good position to decide what's in your heart. And I'm sure it's a delayed dream. And, you know, you can't keep it hidden forever because time marches on. You have to face the truth of what's in your heart and then do something about it, Pisces. You're under wonderful aspects to succeed at that, even though it's going to take work. So congratulations. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show on my Karen Campbell YouTube channel, and I wish you'd subscribe there and tell your friends so that I can send it to you every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And then you can also read the blog on my website, starborninstitute.org. And I will see you next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.